Hello, welcome to Moviemusters. Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan Review, where everyone is guilty, Part 7 of Season 3. Do you recall the entire truth-setting experience? Yes, indeed, Lou-Lou learned the hard way that wishes aren't always granted. And after attempting to reject Rack's influence and pursue his passions during the season, his attempt to separate himself from his past has brought him back into it. The topic of discussion in Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 Episode 7 was more division, difficult decisions, and a lot of profanity. So in the universe of Power, it was just another day. Checking in Episode 7 of Season 3 of Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan. Although Raising Kanan is the narrative of Kanan's birth, it's also the story of the Thomas family. Furthermore, the focus of this season in particular has been on advancing each character's unique tale independently of one another. Naturally, we see Kanan as he starts to create something for himself, while Rack has had to experience what it's like to not always receive her wish. Gathering data Raising Kanan, Power Book Roman 3, Season 3, Episode 7. However, Marvin and Lou-Lou have ended up in these intriguing private spaces where Marvin aspires to carry on with the development that we witnessed throughout Season 2 of Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan. And Lou-Lou is drenched in regret and alcohol. We saw the fractures grow, so in many respects, Lou-Lou's downfall was long overdue. He served Rack as an obedient soldier, but as he matured, he was losing more and more faith in the company. Moreover, he wanted Bulletproof Records to have something that Rack couldn't tarnish. As everyone knows, Lou-Lou's long-term consequences from that were disastrous, and today he finds himself reduced to a mere shadow of his former self, hardly able to survive. After visiting his mother and Rack, the two women in his life who had let him down the most, he spent a few days feeling positive after meeting Shirley and giving it his all at Café Vuz. A Bromance War Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan, Season 3, Episode 7. The complexity of each character in this series is one of its many amazing aspects. It's common to want to arrange all the characters in a series you're watching into tidy little columns according to their respective roles. You can view the story through the prism of your heroes on the one side and your villains on the other. However, given how frequently characters change over time, it's challenging to categorize them into a single column. Without a doubt, Lou-Lou Thomas is a murderer. Thus, he appears to be a villain at first glance. He's never been able to get over the fact that he's the youngest sibling in a family that he thinks selected him. His failure to see that his actions, especially as an adult, are ultimately his own is largely responsible for where he is now. But it's undeniable that his family also let him down in a lot of ways. Even if he isn't a hero, it doesn't make sense to depict him as a general evil, which is absurd considering that he killed someone in cold blood to close the show. Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan, Episode 7 of Season 3, concerned Marvin. Chantal was a wonderful mother to Scrappy, and it was impressive that she refused to let go of things even after he passed away, especially when she was aware that a malevolent force was at work. Regretfully, she chose the incorrect afternoon to expose Lou-Lou. Although Marvin was right to chastise Lou-Lou for his drinking, which was undoubtedly making things worse, it was heartbreaking to watch Marvin intervene on Gerald's behalf to support him during his time of need before encouraging Lou-Lou to kill someone and further erode his self-worth. Being sandwiched between Rack and his younger brother puts Marvin in a difficult situation, but I can't help but hope that someone outside of Shirley would provide some sympathy to Lou-Lou. He had messed up by talking to Chantal, and the only way to put things right in that life was to kill her. But what happens next? Since he's clearly losing himself in his sorrow, would someone try to intervene and assist him? Episode 7 of Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan features the song Famous is Strapped. The Thomas family is a living example of dysfunction, and their great deal of hurt seems to be caused by a father who never showed up and a mother who is mostly focused on money. But love is there despite all of that turmoil. This season, we're just not seeing a lot of it. Turning back to Marvin, though, there's merit to the ease with which he's attempting to support Gerald, standing up for him, and trying to be the father that Jukebox so richly deserves. He seems to be attempting to learn from his mistakes in the past so that he won't do the same ones again, but he is completely unaware that his previous transgressions could come back to haunt him. Regarding Rack, Howard has been haphazard with the facts and appears to be divided on the matter. Episode 7 of Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan features an angry Howard. There's the Kanan aspect of it all and the possibility that whatever attaches to her will eventually stick to him. Even though Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 hasn't seen many genuine moments between them, you can't deny that Howard is making an effort to watch out for him. Once more, a lot of these individuals cross all the boundaries when you think about what makes a story legitimate. Although Howard is not a protagonist, he is also not a complete adversary. His choice to keep Marvin's name a secret from Rack must indicate that he believes there is a way for him to fool them once Marvin is formally assigned to the narcotics section. Howard is not happy about any member of the Thomas family being involved in the task force's case, but it could be worse to tell Rack now, when they are so short on details. Since Rack isn't telling him the whole truth, I don't blame him for keeping it under wraps. He also cannot ensure that her style of managing things won't have unfavorable effects on him. Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 Episode 7, Kanan Makes Moves. Howard is in a very difficult situation, and his primary objective at this time should definitely be to gain access to narcotics, as it will provide him with a wealth of more information and open up new opportunities. But I detest that Marvin would be the one to bear the consequences if something went wrong, or worse, if Howard decided Marvin could serve as the sacrificial lamb without it affecting him. I can't stress this enough. Everyone is subject to retaliation because they are all doing wrong. Don't let it be Marvin, please. To entirely alter the audience's impression of the character, London Brown's flawless acting and amazing writing are required. More than altering it, though, they have made it possible for us to comprehend it and give it meaning. This season, we've lost far too many. Do not do anything to Marvin, please. Episode 7 of Season 3 of Ronnie Works' Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan. A glimpse of Ronnie and Kanan's professional relationship is seen elsewhere, and it's exactly as awkward as you might anticipate. Throughout the entire hour, Ronnie was nothing more than a muscle guy, intimidating everybody who stood in his way, while Kanan made every effort to alienate the one person who he could always count on to have his back. I'm excited for Ronnie and Rack to eventually square off, since it seems like they are building to. Right now, Ronnie and Kanan seem to have different roles. Kanan is more of the thinker and Ronnie more of the authority, but eventually, as we all know, Kanan will serve as a mentor. Many believed that he would learn all he eventually gives Ghost from Rack during the first 2 seasons. But it's beginning to seem like this was the period of his childhood when he picked up a lot of the talents he would need as an adult. Episode 3 of Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan Stuck in Between. He's going to have to toughen up and play the tough guy in order to escape Rack, but it doesn't feel like an act anymore. The greatest way to put it was when Jukebox was speaking to Rack. She said it succinctly: he's changed. He and Jukebox had such a different conversational style. Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 Episode 4, in which the two celebrated their victories together, was such a stark contrast. Jukebox is aware of the writing on the wall, but she is powerless to change it. Their relationship is currently hanging on a thread, and since there aren't any other ladies in the state of New York for Kanan to date, it's almost a given that he will ruin the one positive thing she has going in her life. Hugs from Mom. Raising Kanan, Power Book Roman 3, Season 3, Episode 7. It would almost be plausible to think that Kanan could return in some fashion if we were unaware of the future course of events. A means of reaching his lowest point and realizing that, in order to rescue himself and the people he cares about, he must change. However, it isn't taking place. We are aware that things will only become worse. Simply put, we're not sure how much worse. Everything additional you should know. I feel terrible for Famous because he is truly stuck in a rut and his life is going out of control. Things have changed so swiftly for him that he now feels completely disoriented. He has lost both his best buddy and his house. Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan Season 3 Episode 7, A New Meeting. It will be intriguing to watch how Rack's takeover of Unique's operations intersects and overlaps with that of Ronnie and Kanan. When Ronnie and Juliana initially started dating, I didn't feel at all romantic, and when they started being intimate, I felt even less. If it were Pernissa who took Ronnie out, wouldn't that be quite the trip? That man has disrespected her more times than I can count right now, and I would love for him to undervalue her just so she can have the last laugh. What happens if Gerald's article on Jukebox and Marvin causes Marvin to get in trouble with the law? I'm not sure yet, but there's a twist to this whole Gerald plot that has to do with the piece he writes. Episode 7 of Season 3 of Jukebox and Crystal Power Book Roman 3, Raising Kanan. I feel like we've closed the Shannon Burke file, but then something or someone resurfaces. Set off the alarm, everyone. This season has just 3 episodes remaining, so you're deluding yourself if you think we're going to end this with everyone still alive. Make sure you've watched the entire season, then share your opinions about the hour and potential future directions in the comments area. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.